Hey, I'm Bill Mallon, Vice President of Global Marketing Communications for Oceaneering, and today I'm in Kingsport, Tennessee at the MATE ROV competition. And MATE stands for Marine Advanced Technology Education. We've got, I think, 72, 78 teams from around the world competing in this competition. Oceaneering is involved, so let's go inside and figure out what's going on. All right, I said we'd come inside. The first two people I found were Pat and James. So I look at all the talent here and I think about the recruiting opportunities. They must be, good grief, underwater, robotics, and a whole room full of people who've got the skills and know-how.
You know, most of the kids that we see here are college-bound students. There is a good portion that are not college-bound. And coming out of the ROV community, I look at some of the skill sets these kids have, and they're a perfect fit for our junior tech program. And, we bring them in, we give them the skills and knowledge, and, they can become very successful.
Yes, Jay, they are like the full package, it seems to me. Is that right?
Yes, I would say that with the MATE participants, without a doubt, they are our future Oceaneers.
Yep.
Every event that we attend, you always find that one student that has it.
I don't mean to be the old man that says this younger generation, but you don't necessarily think of, you think of video games and these guys are just a whole different level. It's so impressive. I've seen a lot of other Oceaneering shirts wandering around here. I'm here, Rod's here, but this is a big deal. How is Oceaneering involved aside from YouTube?
Oceaneering's been involved since the very, very beginning, in 22 years ago, right? Actually, we have a team here that the mother of the team is Oceaneering person over in Scotland. So,
it's just such an impressive event.
This is not just your regular outreach STEM program. It's not.
Definitely not.
It encompasses, the teams are companies. We look at them as a company. And we introduced that probably about maybe 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago. And it's really broadened the scope of just STEM. So you'll have someone that's maybe not engineering inclined or whatever. You'll have a marketing person, financial. You'll have everything. You had the whole gamut, So that's really broadened the scope of just STEM.
And then how the teams collaborate with each other is pretty impressive as well.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, fellas, James, Pat, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to go find some other folks to talk to. For the past 22 years, you've been taking smart kids, making them smarter, giving them skills that they might not necessarily have, and giving them opportunities they might not necessarily. Is that a simple way to say that?
It's a good way to say it. I am a facilitator of this. I cannot take credit. It's their teachers and mentors. We have encouraged and facilitated their knowledge and gaining skills, because we put out these tasks that are based on real world, right?
What are the tasks?
So this year, every year we change our mission tasks, and they focus on something that's going on.
Do they know what's coming?
They know what's coming.
Okay.
So this year, they are actually laying a submarine telecommunications cable. They're laying it through some waypoints. It's called a smart cable. Not only does it have the telecommunications capabilities, but it's got sensors on there. So it's taking pressure, depth, and accelerometry data for detecting earthquakes.
I would have struggled with that.
I know, man. I got an accelerometer, right? They're also focusing on coral reefs. So we have a regional in Saudi Arabia, and one of the things that they're doing there at King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, researching coral reefs, they're using probiotics to help diseased coral to heal themselves.
I bet they're all into that. They have to be.
Totally into that.
What do you got? 20, 30, 100 students here?
No. We have 78 teams.
And I said that in my intro. I couldn't remember if it was 78 or 72, but 78.
78 teams here. So this is our biggest world championship ever. We've been doing this, as you know.
So how many kids?
We have 1,000.
1,000 kids.
About 1,000 kids from all over the world, 17 countries represented here. And it's this global community of learners that are coming together. We put out this challenge. They're all working to come up with solutions to the challenges that we put out there. They're all different. They're all different. It's like innovation, right? We just put that spark. We're enablers.
You're enabling kids that might not necessarily have the opportunity to go to college, not because they're not smart enough, but perhaps
Maybe they don't have the resources.
they don't have the money. They've had a family situation where they need to stay home. I mean, so you're providing opportunities for them as well.
Right, and we are enablers and connectors. So that's why it's so important to have organizations like Oceaneering involved in this. We want to connect them to you. We want to make that connection between the student and a potential future employer.
All right, I have found the team that I met last night. Crush Depth, is that right?
Yes.
Let me ask you, let me get going first. You guys are set up, I understand, like there's a CEO, there's a finance person, there's an engineering person, a safety person, is that right?
Yes.
Tell me how that works.
All right, so we got the CEO, myself, who's kind of led the team a little bit. I'm the one with a little bit of ROV experience in the past, and I've been able to kind of guide the team in the direction we want to go and avoid some of the pitfalls along the way that some brand new teams face.
And then, I'm going to come back to that, but I saw you guys let the other team fly, which you confused me for a second there. And I've talked about that with some other people, but what's that all about?
Yeah, so this competition really promotes teamwork and kind of a whole community and a family of competitors. And one big part of that is the community bonus mission that is at the end of the competition, where all the teams have to work together to complete one task. This year we had to put a panel on a wall with Velcro that we had to stick there. But another cool aspect of that is if teams' ROVs aren't functioning the way they want us to, they could go to other teams or other teams can go to them. And
I've seen where other teams go to other teams and say, hey, do you guys need any help?
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I mean,
big
so
aspect.
So you guys come together, but you're also compete against each other. I love that story. Robert, I'm going to go to you. You're flying the ROV.
So I'm not actually flying it. I'm the co-pilot.
Yeah, it's okay. You straightened me out yesterday. I remember. I'm the co-pilot, but go ahead. Tell me about that.
So what I do is I mapped it so all of my controls are pretty much on one side of the Xbox controller, and so I just use it propped up against one of the tables, and I use my lips to move around the joystick, different axes, do different actions on the claw, and then I have a set of buttons on the right side of the Xbox controller that I just press with my lip to do other tasks such as moving our camera and then getting our temperature readings as well.
So there's like when the competition's going on, I guess pilot, co-pilot, handling the R. What other jobs go on whenever the competition's taking place?
That's where I come in, just operations technician, we like to call it.
So marketing and operations technician.
We if we need things to happen, we got to make them happen. Like we had an incident where one of the cables got stuck, and one of the judges was telling me to talk to them, and I know I can't really be talking to my pilots, so I had to get up there and yank it and grab myself, because at the end of the day, if no one makes it happen, then it's not going to get me to have it.
How about you two? Do you have jobs during when it's flying?
Yeah, so Alex and I are both part of our data analysis team during the runs. So we get all the data that our ROV and float bring up to us and graph it. And then we also do some math on the coral restoration area so we can 3D model during that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys are going to win this thing, you think, or how's it going?
Hope so.
We hope so.
I hope so as well.
We don't want to say anything too for sure or not. You don't want to be overconfident, but we do feel good. We feel like we executed our plan, and we'll just see how everybody else did with theirs, and we'll find out tonight.
In Pioneer, first place overall, Clovis Community College, Crush Step.
All right, so you guys ended up winning. I mean, it was just serendipity that I talked to you.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm in shock.
Here, you guys pass that microphone.
I'm still in shock. I freaked out. Like I'm just so happy. I'm just happy. I don't know.
Alex is happy.
I'm happy.
I'm just happy. Robert, or
We were super nervous as we were, leading up to us being announced. We really didn't know. We're just, like Alex said, we're just really happy right now, and it still hasn't fully set in, I don't think.
Awesome. How about our CEO?
Yeah, so as far as in the actual product demonstration run, we were really strong, but some of our other aspects, they're not our strongest area of the competition. So we were really scared that maybe we didn't add up, but as some of the other teams were called, we kind of knew how they did and how things added up, and we started looking like, okay, maybe it might happen. And then when they actually called it as that final, okay, we actually pulled this off. But being a first-year team, it's really awesome to be able to go home and show what can be done from a small school.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
yeah, it's great for the Central Valley. We haven't had a team like this anywhere near us, and for us to come here and win as a first-year team, we're just so excited for all it's going to mean for our college and our town.
And yeah, give some props to your college that helped put this together.
Yeah, so Clovis Community College, this is a huge deal for the college because there's not a whole lot of opportunity in the area for this type of thing to happen. But it's really cool to be able to go out and show what can be done when the opportunity arises to make something happen, you know?
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. All right. Yeah. Bye-bye.
I mean, the night is finally over. All the awards have been presented.
Absolutely. It's a wrap, as they say, Bill. It's been an amazing 3 days. So much talent, innovation, teamwork. It is just humbling to be in the presence of these students who will go on and do great things. So great things because we are a workforce development pipeline.
I will tell you, I mean, I think I said this before, but I felt like I was a smart guy until I started talking to some of these students here. It's
I
ridiculous.
gave up on thinking I was smart years ago.
So look, you were warned about the Bill Malin question, I heard.
Yes.
Did you prepare?
I'm ready for it.
I'm going to ask it.
I think I got it.
There's only one thing that people watching this video remember about MATE in this competition. What would that be?
It's that the MATE ROV competition is a workforce development pipeline discovering talented, wonderful people for companies like Oceaneering.
Wow.
And Oceaneers are amazing. You all rock. You have been with us since the beginning. You are all amazing, supportive from bottom to top, top to bottom.
Am I going to have to pay you for that answer?
Yes,
or is that
you
legit?
are. You are. It's legit. It's legit.
Jill, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
inviting
so
us here. We
much,
truly had a great
Bill.
time.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I
it's
just
been
learned
amazing.
so much.
You guys solved the unsolvable, and we're going to give you talent to help you do it.
Absolutely. Well, it's here. So
Thanks
thanks
here.
again.